On December 12th and December 13th, Bandai decided to hold their first ever sort of big-scale tournament for Digimon TCG in the English version, which was going to be held on an online platform using webcams. So of course, when the tournament was announced and once I knew what deck I was building, I was like, well, this would be a nice thing to participate in. I haven't been able to participate in like a large-scale physical TCG tournament since like last year December, so right before, the Roni started roaming around everywhere. And so it was a nice change of pace to finally get back into a tournament setting. But of course, we gotta talk about the preparation period before we actually talk about the tournament itself. Just a word of note, in this video I will not be going over my deck list and like going into all the details of like why I play X and Y card. Here is my deck list for a quick second, so you can just look at it if you want to copy it or whatever, or just like, have it for reference. But if you want an in-depth discussion, that'll be up tomorrow, so look forward to that. But this video is already going to be kind of chunky on its own, so you're getting a double upload because this video has been taking a while to edit. So once I had found out that this tournament was happening, of course, there was a big period of sort of just unknown. They kind of posted the details that this tournament would be happening like months in advance or weeks in advance, and then there was like radio silence, and then all of a sudden they dropped the sort of pre-release to people that expressed their interests through a Google form. So then you could sign up through like the different portals. So for example, in Europe we had Tournament Center, who handles I think the Pokemon regionals and nationals and stuff like that, and for Magic as well. So it's a very reliable company, very reliable source for organizing tournaments. So I sort of had a feeling we would be in good hands, but it was weird how quiet everything was. Then eventually we finally got the sort of invitation link and the ability to sign up, and then people saw that, ooh, it's a 25 € entry fee per tournament. And I saw some people have kind of like knee-jerk reactions. They were kind of like, ooh, I'm not sure if that's worth it. But you did get, like plastic memory counters as an entry gift, as well as like a deck storage box. And then on top of that, if you managed to make top 16 or managed to win the whole thing, you got more promo packs as well as potentially a deck box and sleeve. So that was also pretty nice. And for a lot of people, it made it more worth it because instead of what you would be paying for venue fees normally, you're basically paying for shipping fees to ship all those prizes to you, even for just participating. So I decided to sign up for the Sunday one, not for the Saturday one, because on the Saturday one it was right at the time that I would normally be streaming, so I was like, I'm not going to sacrifice my stream for this. So I decided to sign up for the Sunday one, and that way I would have more time to prepare as well. And so the Saturday one had a 256 player cap, and I think they hit about 100 of that in Europe. And then on the Sunday one, which I participated in, we had a 128 player cap, which we hit 104 of, so pretty close to the cap. So a lot of people chose to take the Sunday one as well. Now, there was one more thing. I already signed up for the tournament and everything, but there was one more thing that I really needed to have by the time that this tournament would start. I had basically, you guys saw my box opening, I already had a lot of the cards for my deck, and I had ordered off of online European websites my remaining singles, as well as one of my friends that opened 2 cases with his sort of like local play store. I asked him to help me get my remaining cards that I'm missing for my deck. So I got everything, and as you guys probably remember, before I opened my box for the first, 1.0 pre-sale, I actually ordered 2 Omnimons from a UK seller, and I was like, oh, it's shipping from the UK, it should come pretty soon. But over a week had passed and it was not coming in, and I had 2 Omnimons coming in. I only needed one of them, and I was gonna sell the other one to a local friend, but I was like, they're not coming in, and I really need them to play in this tournament, otherwise I'm going to be rocking 3 Omnimons. Luckily for me, they finally did come in on, I think, the Thursday, so just a little bit before the tournament, and this whole time I was proxying, I was playtesting with a proxied Omnimon, so I was like, I'm not even prepared to play with 3 Omnimon, so thank God the 4th one came in, and then I could get into even more sweaty practice. Now, most of my practice was done with 2 of my friends from Munich, so these are Reverse Ace, who is actually one of my Vanguard teammates that, we just kind of playtest Vanguard with as well, and so he actually finished 17th on the Saturday tournament, so just short of top 16, and he's very salty about that, and I'm sure watching this he's going to comment on that too. But then our other friend that we playtested with at first was Albirio, who is just one of my friends from Germany as well, and he is also part of the Vanguard community, and that's the kind of pattern you're going to be seeing here. Everyone's part of the Vanguard community in some shape or form. So we were playtesting, and Reverse Ace was playing mostly like Piedmon purple, so like good stuff purple, if you will, and he was playing Piedmon, and then Albirio was playing Blue Omni, and I hadn't playtested against Blue Omni before this, so it was really interesting to play around it, and I started to realize that this deck is really revolving around the Metal Garurumon that can like push out stuff when opponent attacks, and I was like, this is gonna be a problem. So I started to notice that my almighty Red Omni that's been winning against so many things until now, and I've been playtesting, started to struggle against Blue Omni, and no wonder that Blue Omni is seen as the best deck in the meta right now. And then on the final day before the tournament, we were joined by Sunako TCG, who is a friend of mine that I met when I was studying in Japan, but they're actually from Lithuania. They have their own channel too, so you can check it out here. I guess I'll make a little pop-up here. But yeah, you can check them out. They're also doing Digimon content, and so she joined our playtest group, and she has a lot of different decks, but we mostly tested against her Blue Omni and Red Omni, so it was good for me to also experience the mirror match. But until the last day in my playtesting, I was winning most of my games, and so I was like feeling really confident, feeling really good. But then the night before the tournament, we sat down for playtesting with our group of 4, and I was losing non-stop. Like, I had so many losses, just could not manage to get wins. It just felt like I was bricking, or Blue just kept getting ahead of me, or I wasn't respecting my opponent's plays enough. Like, I wasn't respecting the Metal Garurumon. I should have like popped it with like a Gaia Force or something, and I just didn't. And so there was like, you know, it was a lot of stuff to learn, but of course that's the best part of losing, is that you learn much more because you have to reflect on your plays. So a lot of learning had been done, and a lot of fun has been had. Is that even a sentence? But now it's finally time for tournament day. So I played in 6 total Swiss rounds, and I compiled a sort of highlight reel of all 6 rounds, so let's take a look at that in a little bit of post-match commentary. Going into round 1, we're going to be taking a look at this series of games against a player that goes by @Firenz. So they were playing purple, and as you can see, that is definitely a matchup that I've playtested a lot against with my friend Reverse Ace. So we start out game 1. I essentially had no rookies, as you can see by the Yokomon sitting in my raising area. I dropped down a level 5 and then evolved the Phoenixmon over it the following turn, and then finally went to the Omnimon, killing the blocker there. However, next turn they put down a Devimon, and so this Devimon slowly became very pesky over the course of these games and this matchup in general. Devimon is like one of the few counters to Omnimon and is able to just like swing into it, and she uses the option card that essentially makes it so that she has to destroy one of her own Digimon in order to destroy one of my active ones. And so she destroys my blocker, which is, you know, a little bit unfortunate, because now she's able to essentially, next turn, if I leave my Omnimon just, you know, sitting there rested or, you know, not active, then she's able to swing into it and kill it there. But I still take the chance and swing with the Omnimon because, you know, Omnimon doesn't get checked by a lot of things. She does get a mat out of this, so she will get a Tamer card on the field now, and I put down the blocker to be safe, giving her 4 memory here as well. However, this time at least Devimon will not be swinging into her, and seeing that she had just a rookie at the start of the turn, that means that she will not be able to do anything with it and just have that Devimon. But she goes for the Trump Sword, which unfortunately will be destroying my blocker once again, and so luckily the Omnimon still lives for another turn, but I know that it's not going to be alive for much longer, and I need to start building up into something else. So I go into another Phoenixmon, swinging, and unfortunately my Phoenixmon only had 12k attack, but it had security attack +2 from the inheritable effect, but unfortunately he runs into a 12k and therefore gets checked. So here, finally, the Devimon, he's been sitting there for so long now. I think this is actually a second copy of a Devimon. You know, I am skipping through this because these rounds are really long, but as you can see, I have a Volcanic Dramon on the field there. I used it to pop some rookies earlier on in the match, and now I'm going to be able to swing with it for Security Attack 2. She has exactly 2 security, so if this does not get checked, I'll be able to deliver the finishing blow with this Agumon, so let's find out if that's going to be the case. Alright, that is a 7k, I believe, which does not check the Magna Dramon, as my Magna Dramon is 10k, and now the second security attack will come through, and we will see what we get. If it's a Trump Sword, that could be bad, but luckily it is not, and then this Agumon will be able to swing for game and finish it off. So there we go, game 1 has been won. Game 2, this is already quite far into it. I had a Magna Dramon developed in the raising area because I was afraid of Trump Sword, and just basically went into the Omnimon here. I did not attack, which means that Trump Sword is now a potential threat, but being able to go into this means that I can get 1 kill, and there we go, there's a Trump Sword getting rid of my Omnimon. So potentially was worth the risk there to attack with the Phoenixmon first and then evolve into the Omnimon. At least that way it would have been unchecked, but now I'm just left with a blocker, and she goes into Lilithmon, which is when I found out what her deck is actually centering around. So Lilithmon I never playtested against, so I've playtested against the Piedmon and stuff like that, but I was like, ooh, this is something new. And so being able to regain memory as you play option cards is definitely very vital for this deck, and so I definitely felt quite pressured. And here, I swing with the Metal Greymon there, and I basically get myself a, whatchamacallit, I get 3 extra memory, but she manages to check it, so I'm going to use that extra memory to put down 2 for my rookie, and then I play 11 for the Magnadramon to get rid of her rookie, and then because of that, normally the Metal Greymon would have given her another 3 memory, but thanks to the way that, how much my Volcanic Dramon costs, that didn't manage to affect anything. And luckily there, my first security check was a Gaia Force, and I was really lucky, so that Lilithmon is now gone. I go into my own Omnimon finally, destroying her only Digimon, and seeing that she doesn't have a rookie in play in the back means that she will not be able to play down any other Digimon this turn, and finally here I go for the final swing after that Omnimon attack. Alright, going into game 2, we're playing against someone called Tori Jesus, or Tori Jesus, so they're from the UK, and they are a Magic player as well, so it's nice to meet someone else that, is playing a different card game and also dabbling in Digimon. So as you can see, we are playing the Red Omni Mirror match, and so here you can see, I was developing a Greymon, dropped down a blocker to protect myself, because as you can see, I had no level 5s, and I had to drop down that Phoenixmon, but he killed my blocker, and now he went into his own Omnimon, and was able to kill my Phoenix, and probably could read the fact that I don't have a level 5 by the way I was playing. My first security attack shows a level 5, so that was pretty unfortunate. I hard play the Gaia Force to get rid of the Omnimon. He goes into his own level 5, developing the next Omnimon, goes into the level 6 with the Phoenixmon, and now I'm kind of worried. He's going to be swinging here, and if my security check does not check it, that will be an Omnimon that's going to be coming out here as well. So he's going to drop down a rookie here, so just choosing to go wide instead of dropping that Omnimon. So I was like, okay, that tells me some important information. I'm still drawing bricks. I don't even have a rookie anymore, so I just dropped the blocker there, and I basically just security check. It does not kill the Phoenixmon. He attacks again. I decide to block that one, which kills the Dark Tyrannomon, luckily. And then he still has 2 more swings. No Gaia Force to be found, so he's going to be swinging for game and taking the first game. And as you can see, my hand is 2 Omnimons, and it's just depressing, basically. Alright, game 2. We had a judge join us for spectation, so here I have 1 rookie, and then I just dropped the Metal Greymon, and then we switch over to this view because we had more and more people joining in, so I had to basically do this sort of view here. So you can see he developed a Magnadramon there, and he's able to swing. This is a really big point. He has an inheritance +1 security attack, +1 security there, and then check this. First security check doesn't hit. Second security check doesn't hit. Third security check from the inheritance doesn't hit. Fourth security check from the tamer also doesn't hit. So I'm left on 1 security trying to just get through here. So luckily I'm able to go a bit wide. I have an Omnimon, I have a rookie, as well as a blocker. So I'm kind of struggling through. And he has 1 security left, and so here I'm able to essentially swing now with my rookie, take out his last security here after a back and forth. The Omnimon kills my rookie, but I swing with the blocker for game. So of course, these highlights are very quick, and so you can see here we got a lot of spectators for this final of this mirror match. So here you can see I'm developing. I have a level 5, I have a level 2, level 3 in play as well, and then here it's basically just a question of, do I continue? Do I have a Phoenix? I do have a Phoenix. I go down to 0, and now do I swing here? Do I just attack and try to get that security check? I think I have +1 security as well, so this is going to be a decisive moment. We get the first check is just a rookie, so that does not kill it, but Phoenixdramon has +1 security attack from the inheritance, but that will not take care of it. That is not a Gaia Force, and we swing for game. Man, with these highlights, this really is just rap god commentary, huh? Anyway, getting into round 3, as you can see, I've developed into a level 5 here, and I still have a lot of memory because he managed to play down level 6 raw. He had no rookies. I just Gaia Force it. I put the Phoenixmon up there, as you can see, swinging for that first security attack, checking nothing. So continue on, play down a rookie. I have a rookie in the back as well, so I'm just going to go wide here. If he Magnadramons me, so be it, but for now it's fine. So he dropped the Magnadramon, killed one of my rookies. As you can see, I just have the Phoenixmon and the one that I had in the back, so swinging for another security attack there. And then here I have 2 blockers in play, essentially, to protect myself, but I go into the Metal Greymon here, going down to 1, but then once I attack with the Metal Greymon, I'll be able to go up to 4 once again, so that's also very nice. I think I have security attack +1. No, I don't think I do actually here. So swinging for just 1. So he's going to go down to 2, which is also very nice, but I am on 4 right now, so there we go. The security check does not kill it. So I'm on 4 now, which means I can go into a Phoenixmon for 2, and then go into the Omnimon as well, putting him on 4 and then on 6 after, no sorry, on 7 afterwards. So here he goes into the yellow kind of like techable Digimon that basically if you have 3 security or less you can heal 2, and so he goes for that. And then here I'm going to try to go for game, going for the Omnimon first with a restand and checking 1 security. Here going again with another one, checking yet another security. That was a rookie, and then swinging again for game, and there we go. Alright, game 2 here. As you can see, he had a similar kind of event here as well. He played a big basic and then just tried to put down some rookies and it didn't really go anywhere, but I managed to go wide with my rookies and just like swing, basically playing Rookie Rush with a Magnadramon and just finish things off really quickly. Man, I would love to show you the entire highlights or the entire matches of these games because they were incredible, but in the interest of time, I did have to cut some highlights from these. So our last opponent was also from the UK, that was just me, Alex Smith, and now we're playing against El Cizor. So this is a German player, so we can see he's playing green, so he had a Puppetmon, and basically it was pretty beefy already, and I was getting a bit scared, but I went to an Omnimon early, killed it. He now has a blocker as well as a level 6 in play. He managed to Flower Cannon me after I attacked with my Omnimon with Security Attack +1, and he manages to Flower Cannon it, but here's gonna swing with his level 5 into my Omnimon, which will kill it, of course, because, you know, this level 6 is really huge. He has a blocker, and he's gonna swing into, well, he's gonna block my rookie there, and I'm gonna still swing with another rookie here, take out his final security attack, which was not a Flower Cannon, and I swing for game 1. Game 2 looks very similar. He has a level 6 in play. I'm slowly developing my other Digimon, as you can see, and then I have a Greymon, an Omnimon, and now I level 5 as well, so I'm able to swing for a bunch. I think this has security attack +1 as well, so there we go. The first security does not kill it, second one also does not kill it, so we're gonna be able to swing with the Omnimon, take out the final security, and then go with the rookie for game. That was not a Flower Cannon, so that will be game 2. Alright, and now we're playing in Zoriak, who was eventually the champion of the entire tournament. So Zoriak, he was playing Rookie Rush, and as you can see, he was just playing down rookies and swinging. I basically had, as you can see, no rookies from that little screen on top. I was just trying to play down my blockers, but he got Flower Cannons, he hard played Flower Cannons, resting my blockers as well, and just like swung. Luckily I got a Gaia Force there to kill one and keep surviving, but he swung and managed to get game 1. Game number 2, as you can see, a bunch of rookies just swinging. Magnadramon, I needed you, or Volcanic Dramon, sorry, I needed you in hand, but sadly he was in my security, and so here's gonna swing with another one. He has low enough hand that he can draw from this rookie here, so I check another security. Doesn't, you know, it kills it, but it doesn't really do me much else. We swing again, and here we go, another check. There we go, the security check kills the Digimon, but I'm gonna be left on 1 yet again. Goes with the Goblimon, and there we go, another security has been checked, and now his field is empty. He Flower Cannons my blockers here, which is really unfortunate because now, you know, I have both of my blockers resting, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He swings with the rookie, and I Gaia Force his other attacker, so I'm like, oh, thank God I'm actually living. So I'm like, no, not the one that attacked, the one that's still standing. So I destroy that one with a Gaia Force, but he plays down the Puppetmon, which keeps everything that is already resting at rest, plus also rests one of my other level 4s, which is really unfortunate because not only now can I not win game next turn and take us to a game 3, but I also cannot block next turn either. So I just basically swing into one of his rookies, and then I just make an Omnimon here because I went through for like several turns trying to see what plays I could make, but even with all the memory that I had, I just did not have anything else that I could do. So sadly, he's able to just swing and win the game there. So that was quite unfortunate, but really good showing by our opponent. And finally here we're going to be playing against Aizen. So Aizen is actually one of my channel viewers, so it was really nice to play against a viewer here as well. So you can see here I developed an Omnimon and just destroyed his Metal Garurumon. So, you know, I spent so much time playtesting his Blue Omni, but only really played against it this one time. And so Blue Omni is really threatening, and so I had to really make sure that that Metal Garurumon is always checked. So here I swing with my Omnimon, getting rid of 2 security from that security attack +1 on the Omnimon, and so basically just kind of developing my board. This blocker I just put down here, and here I still have 2 memory, so I just play for 5. I play down the level 5 so I can keep developing it and just make big moves next turn, but he basically recognizes that he has no outs to my board, so we just go into game 2 and scoop it up because there was no real outs for him. So here again, I had the blocker, the Skull Greymon that kills blockers that I evolved into, and then I basically attacked with Security Attack +1, and he got the level 6 Vanilla, which killed it instantly, so I was like, okay. So I just play the Gaia Force, essentially, and kill his Metal Garurumon because, as I said, you need to respect that card, otherwise you will lose to it, and that was all I was really doing in this matchup. So here I swing with my 7k, I believe, so which destroys the blocker, and here I swing with my rookie, which will go into his security, and unless he checks something that could potentially kill my last rookie, this should normally be game and win us the 6th round. And so that was the conclusion of my 6 rounds of Swiss. Now when that finished, we were initially promised 7 rounds of Swiss, and so initially when we finished up round 6, I was like, alright, I am X1 going into the final round of Swiss. If I can win this, I'll probably be top 8 or something. But then I actually noticed that the admins wrote that the round 6 was the final one, so I was like, oh wait, I'm X1. I should probably be in top 16, you know, so I get the extra promo packs. But I was like, let's see if we can make it to top 8. That's kind of what I was hopeful for. And then I was started to go through the one loss that I had. So both the one loss that I had and all the players I beat. And then I noticed that the only loss that I had, his final round already concluded, and he was undefeated. He was the champion of the tournament. Before the other rounds even finished, I noticed he was going to be the champion, which meant that my tiebreaker to pull me up into the higher standings would be really, really good. So I was like, ooh, we're definitely looking at top 8 here, even though there's no difference between first and top 16, right? Like, you could place anywhere in between those. If you're not first, you don't get the deck box and the sleeves, but if you're top 16, you get the extra promo pack. So I was like, it doesn't really matter, but for myself, it kind of matters. You know, for the first tournament, it does matter. And then lo and behold, the results came out, and third place was where I finished, and I was like, damn, that was really, really good. So I was really proud of myself for that first sort of tournament. It was an amazing experience, purely because not only did it feel great to finally play with real cards, and I really wish that Bushiroad would have done this already, honestly, to like do remote fight regionals or something, because it clearly shows that a good organizer can easily handle 100 plus people like without any issues, as we saw with Tournament Center on the day of this tournament. And on top of that, like, the organization was incredible. There was like no hiccups outside of like maybe round 1. There was like some kind of like, you know, end of time procedure hiccup at the very start, but that's, you know, that's fine for people that never played in tournaments, for example, and aren't used to like competitive card gaming as a whole, because it's definitely, even though it was kind of like catering to casual players too, it definitely felt like a higher scale, like regional-esque kind of event, or like national-esque level event for a TCG. And so honestly, huge props to Tournament Center and to Bandai for the great organization, and I really hope that we have more of these. Honestly, this was a really great experience, really good first experience of a tournament, I think, for a lot of the new players that never played a competitive TCG in their lives before, and I think that going forward, you know, whether it's to celebrate the Set 1.0 official release, or still something before that, or waiting until Set 1.5, I think there'll be a lot of fun to be had, and I honestly am quite hopeful for the competitive side of this game, because that's one thing I wanted to reflect on, is that because this was my first tournament with the game, I wanted to see how competitively viable is the game, like how much variance is in it, how much can you dictate your own plays, how much do your early decisions impact your late game, sort of like how it's going to play out. And so seeing that there was not only like a lot of all of that in it, it just felt really good that like every decision you make is really important. Sometimes it can be so minuscule, like the fact that you choose to keep evoing just to dig into your deck for like a Volcanic Dramon against like a bad matchup where you need that Volcanic Dramon, it feels good. The fact that you have that sort of ability to kind of pace through your deck in a way to find important cards, even though if there's no mulligan, and like the fact that even if you don't have your trump card in your hand, you can still play around it. And like you saw plenty of games for my 6 rounds where I just didn't even have evolution chains, just drop a level 6 and just pray, you know. And so those kind of turns definitely happen in my opponent's side too, you know. They drop a level 6, I have a Gaia Force, we get back to square 0, you know. And it's just like, that's just how the game is, and I think it's really, really interesting. It definitely isn't for everyone. I've been teaching the game to a lot of my friends, and some people realize that it's not really the kind of game they enjoy. But for me, someone that never played Duel Masters properly, someone that never really has an experience with this style of game as much, outside of like Fire Emblem Cypher, I guess, it definitely has been really, really fun, and I'm really enjoying it. And honestly, I have pretty high hopes for the competitive side of things as well, because I mean, this felt really good, and I really hope to continue participating in tournaments like this, and hopefully bring some good records back home in the future as well. So we'll be sticking with Red Omni until Set 1.5. I don't plan to build any other decks, and I still really enjoy this one, to be honest. So I am really, really glad to continue playing this deck, and I'm glad that I selected it. And so we'll be talking about my deck list in detail tomorrow, so look forward to that. That'll be a fleshed out video on its own of just my Red Omni deck list and why I played certain cards the way I did. And then yeah, we'll see where we go with that for Digimon content. And then if you're also interested in other stuff, I do of course have my main channel where I cover Car5 Vanguard related content, my Twitch where I do all kinds of stuff including Digimon, and then on top of that, I think on this channel I'll also be uploading some Shadowverse content very soon, because there's a new set coming out that's going to be very hyped too. But on that note though, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for watching my journey throughout my first ever Digimon TCG tournament, and hopefully you enjoyed it and I can continue to provide you with more interesting Digimon TCG content. But on that note, look forward to Red Omni deck profile tomorrow, but I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.